Hey, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I have a message for you from Spirit. I wasn't planning on sitting down and doing a reading, but they asked me to sit down and do this so I could deliver this message to you. So I went ahead and set a spiritual quarantine already for this reading, so you will feel that if you're spiritually sensitive, and that quarantine will be in place until the end of this reading. All right, now they have a couple of things coming through already. So I have a deck of cards here with different topics on them. So these are index cards. And I also have some markers here for, usually what I do is past, present, and future readings. But Spirit wanted to pull out these two specifically today. They wanted to pull out the past energy and the future energy. So there's going to be two different sides of this that we're going to look at today. It seems like that they want to kind of talk about. So I find that really interesting, and we're going to pull one of these cards in just a moment to keep building out on this. But the other thing when I opened up into this energy, the other thing that Spirit sent through was a lyric from a song by Janet Jackson. Okay, and I think it's called like That's the Way Love Goes, or The Way Love Goes. Okay, and so here's the line. So it's like a moth to a flame, burned by desire. My love is blind, can't you see my desire? That's the way love goes. Yeah, okay. So like a moth to a flame, burned by desire, my love is blind, can't you see my desire? And what Spirit is saying here, they then linked it into the past energy. So it almost feels like, yes, it almost feels like that's the energy that you've been in, almost like, this is a metaphor, okay? But like blindly kind of, I don't know, moving into either connections or relationships, or this could be a love dynamic of any sense. This could be maybe like a connection you have with a workplace, or it could be with an organization. It doesn't have to be another person necessarily, but they are really underlining the kind of idea of blind love here, and that you've kind of been, in the past at least, going after things or moving towards things or attracted to things without having a kind of awareness to that attraction, like an actual adult conscious awareness of that action. And I do feel like it has maybe backfired on you in the past potentially, or has led to some turbulence, or some sort of conflict, tension. It could be potentially for some of you some trauma. I am hearing that as well, they're saying. So I feel like this is an energy they want you to be aware of, is coming up to be resolved, is what they're saying. And there's something about this future energy we're going to look at, and hopefully a new way of approaching another situation or scenario or experience that is coming to find you in this like future energy, which could be at any time from this moment you're watching it. For one or two of you, or a couple of you, as you're watching this reading, some of you are finding you in this like future moment now, okay? And so it's almost like for some of you, there may be a decision point you're in, but they have a little bit more to say here. So let's go into these cards, because I think there's a little bit more they want to clarify here. Want one of these? Okay, ready? Okay, let's get a little bit more on this. I was saying, okay, career. Okay, so that's definitely, yeah, that's coming through really strong. And this one. I'm also hearing the word, yeah, career and relationships. Is that right? Okay, that's it. Okay, so I just find that funny. I was just talking about this. Yeah, it feels like, again, it for someone here, and I feel like this is the example Spirit's going to pull forward, but for someone here, this is definitely around the kind of career or employment that you're finding yourself in, or how you're navigating your career. Now, that does not necessarily mean you have to be like employed by like a business or anything like that necessarily. This could also be, for some of you, if you are a stay-at-home parent, or you have other ways that you like fall into your career, whatever that is for you. This is a very broad topic, okay? But that's definitely coming through really strongly. So there is a message here around, again, kind of almost blindly moving into maybe new workplace, career situations, in the broadest sense of that term, and whatever it is, whatever that means to you. It feels like in the past, maybe you have been kind of hopping from thing to thing, and you have found that it has brought some tension for you, or again, trauma for some of you, just continuing to move through that same repetition that you've been in. Spirit wants you to take this moment to really look at your situation and to see, how can I do this differently moving forward so I'm not like the moth to the flame being burned. That's so strong. Oh, that's so strong from Spirit. Okay, so let's get into it, because I feel like you have been thinking, oh, that's just the way it goes. That's the way love goes. This is the way it feels. And Spirit's trying to indicate, especially with this future energy, like it doesn't always have to be. It's just a pattern that you're in. Okay, Spirit, what's going well in this energy, if anything? This card. Interesting. So I like it. The Page of Swords here. This is coming through as a moment of like vigilance. This is actually an opportunity for you to observe yourself in action, kind of like this Page of Wands is with the sword. They're kind of ready to take action here, ready to swing that sword. Yes, so it is an opportunity, because you can see this person's kind of like watching, right? It's an opportunity for you to observe yourself and observe some of the, they're also saying here, the kind of thinking that comes through as you are potentially on the precipice of entering another cycle again of the same thing that you've been through in the past, the moth being burned by the flame. Okay, so this is an opportunity that I'm seeing the sword redirect here. It's almost like there's another way. Yes, there's another way, okay? And this also could be around, like I said, a relationship for some of you. It doesn't have to be, like if you're finding yourself in the same dynamics over and over. So again, just apply this to whatever like love dynamic that this really feels for you. But like I said, if it's the work type you're doing, if it's how you are moving through your career, moving through connections of any type, then that's how this can apply, okay? But like I said, I'm going to keep using this career example because it's so strong here. But Spirit really wants you to look at this. Yeah, they're showing right now the animation of these stars like sparkling. It's coming through as like revelations, like aha moments that you're having as you're watching this reading, but as you continue to process this, okay? Okay, so I like this energy. I actually really like this Page of Swords because it feels like it's a moment of pause. There's a moment here where you actually get to consider, do I cycle back into this, or do I want to go a different direction and try something new? Trying an aware love type of movement where you actually put your attention on it and ensure that you're not moving into the same, I'm hearing repetition wounds that you've been moving through consistently throughout your life. Yes. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's go deeper into this. This feels like a pivot. If I had to like describe this energy, it's almost like I'm seeing this person like pivot. This feels like a pivotal moment for you, but also a pivot that you can make that movement is what they're saying. Yes, I got it. Okay, let's keep going. It feels like the timing of this reading is really critical for you. You want this card? Those two? Yes. Okay, so they brought forward the pine tree. It says vitality, longevity, perseverance. Yeah. So they're talking about the longevity piece. They want to say that it has been a while that you've been going through this pattern. They're showing me this as the moons in the background, almost like they're saying it has been many moons of you experiencing this type of hardship. It is coming through as hardship. It's almost like the moth was just attracted to the flame and ended up getting burned, okay? And it's just like, without really understanding or knowing why, even though that thing was going to hurt them, the flame would be harmful if the moth flew into it. This is what they're saying, okay? But it still continues to fly into it. So this is your moment to recognize the flame, is what they're saying. And they want to bring in the rain. They want to bring in the rain for this flame. I really like it. So this is coming through as like healing waters. Yeah, so it says cleansing, purification, hydration. The purification's really strong here. Spirit wants to bring some water to this flame, and again, some healing to this. I'm seeing the Star Tarot card in my mind's eye here, but also some purification. They want you to clear out this pattern that you've been in fact. Especially for those of you who have been in the same cycle within your career. Maybe you're finding yourself in the same job over and over again, and maybe it's different job titles, maybe it's different employers, but the situation always ends the same. It's always the same. That's a pattern, okay? And it's because there's something deeper here that Spirit wants you to see, a way that you continue to like move into places or situations or connections that actually aren't good for you. Yes. Why aren't they good, and what, yeah, can you expand on that a little bit more? Why aren't they good for who's watching this? The Three of Wands. Interesting. This is upright. A little bit in reverse too. There's an isolation coming through here really strongly. How does that connect to this card, Spirit? They're showing, okay, so they're showing what's on this card is important, not necessarily the meaning of the Three of Wands. So they're showing the shadow of this person here. Yes, it's the shadow. It's almost like there's a shadow part of yourself that continues to move you, there's Three of Wands meaning, to move you into directions blindly. There's a part in the shadow that you are not aware of. This part is in control of these decisions and has you moving in directions and taking pathways that will lead to, I keep hearing with this, it's almost like this person's trying to go towards this triangle, and it's coming through as like isolation or like isolated. I don't know why there's a lot of isolation energy coming through here. It's really, really strong. Feeling like it's not just alone. They're being very clear on the word isolation. Almost like it's just you and the pyramid and no one else here. And your shadow part, who has led you back to, I'm hearing another dead end. Okay. Can we talk about that? What is this shadow part? What is the shadow part? Can we see it? You're saying yes. Okay, hold on. What is the shadow part? Okay. The one that's, oh, okay, this is really strong here. To give you the Page of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, this is so strong. And the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, okay. So here, I'm gonna show you these cards. So we have both the Page of Pentacles, and they're saying the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So this is a, they're saying it is a younger, okay, so the real word they're using is more of like an undeveloped part of yourself. Like the Page of Pentacles. The pages are very like young, youthful energies in tarot, but it's coming through as like undeveloped. An undeveloped part of yourself that continues to pursue for tangible confirmation that they are enough, that they are good enough, that they are enough, that they are worthy of experiencing love, the real thing, not the burned by the flame. The desire here of this one is to feel that, is to feel the warmth of love. They are chasing after that feeling through material things, through specific connection types that they think will bring them this feeling of wholeness. The Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles are both, you see there's a pentacle in both of their hands here. Yes, they're trying to find this. For some of you, it's chasing after money when it will not bring you happiness, specifically within these situations. Some of you are too focused on it. In fact, that's what Spirit's saying, and not enough on your own inner satisfaction. This in and of itself is neglect. You are neglecting yourself by chasing too hard, chasing too much. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse is coming through as like with a pursuit and chasing after. It's coming through like how earth signs can be in their detriment if they're too material. Yeah, it's coming through as like materialistic. Okay, so that's definitely part of it for some of you who are watching this, okay? And so this has led you actually into a repetition of situations where you continue to feel like you're not enough, or not making enough, or it's never enough. Yes, it is never enough, in fact. It continues to put you in situations where that is how you are made to feel, because that is a deeper wound that you have. Yeah, we got 2 pentacles, so that earth sign's coming through really strongly, especially with this pine tree. They're also saying here with the perseverance on this card, this is coming through in reverse, it's almost like you continue to pursue after it over and over and over again. And Spirit is saying your soul is tired of this. Your soul is actually tired of this. They want you to clean, to cleanse, to purify this wound of I am not enough. I can't maybe embark on my own path. Maybe that's starting your own business. Maybe that's, creating your own organization or joining one that you actually are aligned with. Maybe for some of you, it's moving into nonprofit work, activism, organization work. Maybe that looks like for some of you, embracing your own inner artistry, they're saying. The water element's coming through really strong here. Okay, so yeah, there's just a wanting you to see that you're thinking around this Page of Swords, your thinking around this is actually a symptom of the deepest wound you have. That wound is very deep. Okay. Where did this come from and how do they resolve this, Spirit? What's the resolution? They're saying awareness starts the chain of events. It starts a new path into the future. I'm seeing this 3 of Wands move into the future card that I have here. Yes, that's what they're showing me right now. This one. It starts with you no longer avoiding the shadow space, the moon here, the shadow, the darkness. It's almost like they're showing this card as if this person is the shadow from this card that we were talking about. It's almost like this person is the shadow, and they've been kind of, I don't know if it's trapped. Yes, that's part of the energy here, but it's almost like it's time to no longer suppress or repress them or relegate them into the shadow space anymore. It is actually time to bring this into the light so you can see it and see where the healing is needed, because they're showing each of these wands here as a wound. Like this has continued to repeat. It was like almost like there was an original one that you're holding, that you had been holding on to, and every single event that has happened after that, that has been similar to the original one, has been a repetition for you. It is very similar, and it's the same energy as in when you may be dating different people or working for different employers, but the outcome is always the same. They're asking you, why is that? That's because of this. That's because of the wound here that you have been avoiding. Spirit doesn't want you to avoid this wound anymore. They're saying it is time to bring it into the light of the sun. It is time to bring it into awareness and to bring it into, again, peaceful resolve. Okay, do you have any other advice, recommendations here? This card? Yeah. It is possible for you to have the Ten of Cups here, to have this. This is actually connected in with your future energy if you heed this moment of pause and choose to do something different with this direction, this moment in time, this finite moment in time that you are finding yourself in. Now, they also want to be very clear that if you need to continue repeating this cycle, there's nothing wrong with that. You can always repeat the cycle again, okay? And your soul will repeat it as many times as it needs to until the lesson is learned. But they're being very clear here at the Seven of Wands here. There is a lesson, and that lesson is around self-love, they're saying, actually loving self. This is a card that does speak to boundaries, so that is part of it, having boundaries around saying, here's what they're saying, enough is enough. Yes, enough is enough. For some of you, that's what you need to listen to, that voice of your intuition, of your body telling you that this is tired. This part of you is tired and doesn't want to be in pain anymore. So it is time to move in a different direction towards something that will actually bring you fulfillment. And for many of you, there is an illusion that the Ten of Cups cannot come with the money, cannot come with the stability of having a home or having food or shelter or those things. But Spirit wants you to know this is in fact a myth. It is possible for you to be cared for on this earthly plane and also have happiness. Yes, those things are not in fact mutually exclusive, even though the systems would tell you otherwise. The patriarchy, the systems of oppression, would tell you that it does not exist. All right, so any last messages, Spirit? All right, so we're gonna pull a final oracle card here, and then I'm gonna read from the guidebook. I hope this has been helpful for you. Ready? Final card. This card. Yeah, these two. Okay, so we have two messages here. It says the egg stone. It says feminine power, embodiment, fertility. Okay, so they're showing the egg here, and they're actually showing me the image of the egg cracking. It is almost like this can lead to a rebirth for you. Yes, almost like the bird coming out of the egg is what they're saying, or the animal coming out of the egg. Okay. Or the human, they're saying. Okay. So that's part of it, but it's almost like it's moving out of the confines of the places that you've known in the past. For some of you, you've experienced deep levels of sexism. So the feminine part, they're linking it into the system of oppression around sexism and the oppression of women, femmes, and LGBTQIA. That's not for everyone, that's just for some of you here. So that may be the experience that you've been having, and that has been part of the repetition wound for you. So they want you to break out of this, like breaking through the egg. Okay, so there's that card. The other card they gave you was the Sanctuary. Beautiful. It says harmony and balance, joy and contentment. Yeah, they're saying this is actually possible for you. This is actually, they're talking about the harmony between having your earthly needs met and being able to be happy too. They're showing the rainbow here. Yes, like the rainbow, it's the same. Do you see the same like rainbow here and here? You can have that. So they're saying that is possible. So we're gonna read this card, I think. This card? Okay. Okay, so let's see here. The Sanctuary, 118. I'm getting angel number 9 for you. You wanna look that up? Okay, let's read this. This is what's possible for you in this future energy. An extraordinary group of Neolithic and Bronze Age stone monuments stands proud in southwest England. Avebury, named for the village that occupies part of this sacred site, was built between 2850 and 2200 BCE and features several stone circles, including the magnificent sanctuary, originally a sophisticated arrangement of standing stones and timber posts that served as a ceremonial temple. Of all the ancient stones I've experienced, the complex at Avebury is the one I've visited most often. And each time I do so, I'm overcome with feelings of deep joy, open-heartedness, and inner peace. Perhaps this was once a place of celebration, and the stones hold that imprint in them. Many people who spend time with the stones here report seeing faces smiling back from them and experience a sense of deep inner joy. The sanctuary is a blessed card to receive, as it indicates a period of deep joy, ease, and inner peace. The kind where you wake in the morning with a soft, wide open heart, where you're free from worrying or being driven by fear. A time of softness and a harvest of gratitude and contentment, of basking in the sun and embracing the wonder of your life. Enjoy this window of warm, gentle peace. Do what you can to slow down, savor the gentle pace, and drink it all in. And the soul inquiry is, how can you welcome more joy and peace into your life? Yeah, that's really strong. They're asking you here right now at this juncture, how can you welcome more joy and peace into your life? And they are saying, it's almost like I'm seeing this part like transition into this person on this card, almost as if, I think they're both wearing like white here. They're both like wearing white. So yeah, I'm seeing that. That's what Spirit's showing me right now in my mind's eye. Okay, it's almost like the freedom to finally be in the light and be at peace. So Spirit really wants you to experience this. Again, there's also a call out here for LGBTQIA with this rainbow. That's coming through really strongly for someone here. Okay. But it just feels like Spirit wants you to like move into this energy, and is saying it is possible for you to like break free of like this egg stone, to break free of the past loops that you've been in. Okay, so I hope this reading has been helpful for you. That's what Spirit has for you today. Yeah, feel free to give this reading a like, or feel free to subscribe if this tarot channel feels resonant for you. Really cool to have you here as part of the collective. I also have personal readings right now, so if you'd like your own reading, like specific to you and messages from Spirit, definitely feel free to check out my website. The link's in the description box below. I also have a Patreon subscription for those of you who are starting to work through that healing. Maybe you decide to go on this different path and you're ready to start moving through the healing that requires. definitely feel free to check out that Patreon, which is, again, for folks who are actively working on their healing journey. I post once a week for them, for that smaller group. And I also have an offering right now, a somatic therapy offering right now called Compassionate Depossession. If you'd like some support in realigning the relationship with that young part or undeveloped part of yourself, feel free to check that out. I have a little bit on that in the description box below, as well as more on my website. All right, it's been great to have you here. I hope this message found you timely, find you in a timely fashion. Our quarantine is going to come down now, but I really appreciate you being here, and I hope this has been helpful for you. All right, I'll see you at our next reading. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.